Imagine a river constantly flowing, always changing, yet always present. The water carves its path, sometimes gently, sometimes with force, but it never stops moving. Now think about your own life. Maybe you're deeply in love, and then suddenly, it's over. Or you pour your heart and soul into a project, a dream, only to face rejection. That sting, that ache. We've all been there, right? It's part of the human experience. But what if the pain of rejection, of heartbreak, isn't something to fight? What if it's not something to resist with all our might, but something to flow with? Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. The wisdom lies not in resisting them, because that truly only creates sorrow. It's about letting reality be reality, allowing things to flow naturally forward, in whatever way they like. It's about embracing the natural flow of change, just like that river. And that's where Taoism offers a different perspective, a way to navigate the sometimes turbulent waters of loss and disappointment. So, how does Taoism help us navigate this flow of change, especially when it comes to heartbreak and rejection? It all comes down to a few core ideas, and we can find a beautiful metaphor for them in the element of water itself. Think about Wu Wei, often translated as effortless action. It's not about doing nothing, but about acting in harmony with the natural flow of things. In heartbreak, this means not clinging desperately to what is lost, not forcing a different outcome, but allowing the grief, the sadness, to move through you, like a current. Then there's Ziran, or acceptance. It's about embracing the present moment as it is, without resistance. When a relationship ends, Ziran means acknowledging the reality of the situation, letting go of the what-ifs and the blame, and simply being with what is. And finally, consider yin and yang, the principle of duality. It reminds us that everything contains its opposite. Within every ending, there's the seed of a new beginning. Within every loss, there's a potential for gain, for growth. Like water, the Tao flows around obstacles. It finds the path of least resistance. It doesn't fight the rock, it flows around it. Or think of the seasons. Just as winter inevitably gives way to spring, endings pave the way for something new. Taoism teaches us to see this cycle, this constant interplay of opposites, in our own lives, even in the midst of pain. Let's explore how these principles apply in real life, starting with Wu Wei and the art of letting go. Think of a leaf in autumn. As the seasons change, it doesn't cling desperately to the branch, fighting the inevitable. It doesn't resist. It surrenders to the wind, to gravity, and falls gracefully to the ground. This isn't passivity, it's a profound acceptance of the natural cycle. Or consider a clogged drain. If you try to force more water through, you'll only make the problem worse. The solution isn't force, it's about clearing the blockage, removing the resistance, to allow the natural flow to resume. Now think about the aftermath of a breakup or a rejection. That urge to constantly text your ex to replay the relationship over and over in your mind? To try and somehow force a different outcome? That's resistance. That's clinging to the branch. Letting go the Wu Wei way means acknowledging those feelings, allowing yourself to grieve, but not getting stuck in that cycle of resistance. It's about recognizing that the relationship in its previous form has ended, and allowing yourself to move with that change, not against it. It's not about suppressing your emotions, but about allowing them to flow through you, like the water in a clear stream, rather than becoming stagnant and blocked. Rejection and heartbreak can feel like an emotional storm, a whirlwind of pain, confusion, and maybe even anger. How do we navigate that? This is where Ziran, acceptance, and finding inner stillness become crucial. Imagine the eye of a hurricane. All around there's chaos, destructive winds, and torrential rain. But at the very center there's a point of calm, a stillness. That's what we're aiming for, finding that inner center, even amidst the emotional turmoil. Or think of a tree in a strong wind. A rigid, inflexible tree might snap and break, but a tree that's flexible, that can bend and sway with the wind, will survive. It's rooted, grounded, but it also yields to the force of the storm. In practical terms, this means allowing yourself to feel the emotions that come up after a rejection or breakup. Don't try to immediately jump into a new relationship to numb the pain. Don't distract yourself with endless activity. Don't judge yourself for feeling sad, angry, or lost. Ziran is about accepting the present moment, including the difficult emotions, without resistance. It's about creating space for those feelings, acknowledging them, and allowing them to be there, knowing that, like the storm, they will eventually pass. Finding that inner stillness, that groundedness, is what allows you to weather the storm without breaking. It's easy to get caught up in the pain of an ending, to feel like it's all loss. But Taoism, through the principle of yin and yang, reminds us that within every ending lies the potential for a new beginning. Within every apparent loss, there's the seed of something new, the possibility for growth. Think of a forest fire. It's devastating, destructive, wiping out vast areas of vegetation. But that very destruction clears the way for new growth. It returns nutrients to the soil, allows sunlight to reach the forest floor, and creates space for a more diverse and resilient ecosystem to emerge. Or consider composting. We take what seems like waste, food scraps, leaves, dead plants, and through a natural process, transform it into something incredibly valuable. Rich, fertile soil that nourishes new life. This principle applies to our lives as well. Maybe you've experienced a job rejection, a crushing blow at the time. But that very rejection might be the catalyst that pushes you to explore a different path, to discover a career that's even more fulfilling, more aligned with your true passions. The ending of one chapter opens the door to another, often one we couldn't have even imagined before. The key is to be open to seeing these seeds of new growth, to recognizing that even in the midst of pain and loss, transformation is always possible. So how do we practically apply these Taoist principles to heal from rejection and heartbreak? Let's talk about some concrete tools you can use. First, mindfulness meditation. This is a powerful way to cultivate present moment awareness that Zirin we talked about. It's about sitting quietly, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, just letting them be, like clouds passing in the sky. This helps you detach from the intensity of the pain and find that inner stillness. Another helpful tool is journaling. This is a form of Wu Wei in action, allowing your thoughts and feelings to flow freely onto the page without censoring or editing. It's a way to release the internal pressure, to get those emotions out instead of letting them churn inside. Spending time in nature is incredibly healing. Immerse yourself in the natural world. Go for a walk in the woods, sit by the ocean, simply observe the cycles of growth and decay around you. This helps you connect with the Tao, with the larger rhythms of life, and find a sense of perspective and solace. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend going through a tough time. Acknowledge your pain. Be gentle with yourself and remember that you're not alone in this experience. Finally, don't hesitate to seek support. Connect with friends and family who can offer a listening ear and a supportive presence. Consider talking to a therapist or counselor, not as a way to fix the pain, but to have someone guide you through the natural process of healing, to provide tools and support along the way. These are all ways to embrace the flow, to allow yourself to heal, and to move forward with greater strength and wisdom. Remember that river we talked about at the beginning? Just as it continues to flow, even after encountering rocks, rapids, and waterfalls, we too can move forward with grace and resilience after heartbreak and rejection. We've explored how Taoist principles, Wu Wei, Ziran, and the balance of yin and yang can guide us through this process. We've talked about practical tools like mindfulness, journaling, connecting with nature, self-compassion, and seeking support. These are all ways to help us navigate the emotional currents and find our way back to a place of inner peace and strength. Rejection and breakups, while undeniably painful, are not the end of the story. They are not failures. They are opportunities to learn, to grow, to connect more deeply with the flow of life, and to emerge stronger and wiser on the other side. But what if the key to navigating these challenges isn't just about how we handle the ending, but about how we approach love in the first place? What if the constant search, the striving for connection, is actually preventing us from finding the genuine, fulfilling relationships we desire? What if there's a different way, a way that aligns with the natural flow of the Tao? Join us in the next video, where we'll explore Taoism's guide to finding love without seeking it.